see, we have two strangers at the table who don't know that we're supposed to beat the drum when the show starts.
You're not James.
You're not. James.
My brother's called James. To be fair.
You're not my James. And everything. But basically, these are like old friends, old classics, because we talk about old movies. So we figured we'd get some old people in here with us. But
Other than you.
yeah. Thank you, Sinead, for bringing
You're
us
welcome.
to reality. So I'm Chase, and this is Sinead, and we're the Movie Squad. But we're joined by, you know what?
Bert and Ernie.
Yeah, okay, Bert and Ernie, but still, this show had to be inspired by something, and it was inspired by a show that I used to do some time ago with some good old friends of mine, Colin and Merv Jones, where we did a show called Geektasm, which is why we also usually have like the stuff on the table there and everything, and we felt that, you know what, we're gonna have Movie Squad meet Geektasm and everything. You know, but what happened was these brothers did not want to talk about Leprechaun. So sorry,
sucks.
Andrew.
But Leprechaun.
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jennifer Aniston.
Oh, well, you know what?
Aniston,
She's the best thing about that movie.
Yeah.
Is she really?
Jennifer Aniston.
Warwick
Oh,
Davis?
yes, she
Really?
is. No,
Really?
not Warwick Davis. Jennifer Aniston's the best thing about that movie.
Okay.
And stuff. How long did she...
Everyone to watch that film for nothing.
Yeah.
We'll do it next week.
Even Warwick Davis hasn't seen it.
It was.
I saw
Did they
Leprechaun in
drug him?
space. And, you know, hey, what are you going to do?
Did they drug him and put him in the
Throw him.
costume, do you reckon?
Yeah. Put him in a little box.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Throw him
But
off.
you know what? Basically, what we decided to talk about was Zombie Flesh Eaters, because this is one amazing film. And it's an Italian film, as Sinead said, because we had just did
Yes.
Italian Western, so we figured...
Italian.
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 Right? So we figured we would go to the best and the classic, Lucio Fulci's Zombie Flesh Eaters. Also known as what, Murph?
Well, let's see. If you're in the US, it's just Zombie, but its proper real Italian title is Zombie 2, Zombie 2. Why is it called Zombie 2?
We don't know, man, because supposedly this was supposed to be a sequel, right, Sinead?
Yes, to Dawn of the Dead.
Can you believe that?
AKA
I can't.
Zombie.
Basically, this
AKA
Dawn of the
Zombie.
Dead was released. Dawn of the Dead was released as Zombie in Italy.
Yeah.
Well, not
to
in
make
America.
some
but-
money. To make some money, these crafty Italians thought,
Those sneaky
let's make a
buggers.
Zombie 2.
Yeah.
And they made more money than Dawn of the Dead
Yeah.
did.
Ha!
Which
I bet it's really annoying for them.
Yeah, exactly.
just to confuse matters even more, Dawn of the Dead in the UK was released as Zombies.
Zombies.
The,
Yeah,
the
oh,
link,
yeah.
the link
Multiples.
to the Italian link to Dawn of the Dead is that Dario Argento was one of the producers on it.
Well, we're going to talk about the best scene ever in this movie, which was obviously inspired by Argento. I didn't know Argento had anything to do with it.
Yeah, no, he didn't.
He didn't
actually
know this, no.
With Dawn of the Dead.
Oh,
He
right.
produced
He produced, yeah, him and his brother produced. Yeah.
So maybe that was our only link, was that whole eyeball scene in this movie, which we're going to get to. But so talk to me, like I said, we're going to just jump right to the end of this movie just so we can get rid of Dawn of the Dead, right?
Spoilers.
Come on, bro. Yeah,
Come on, this is-
1979.
42-year-old movie.
This is the movie squad. Like, they know what they're
We
signing
don't
up
know
for.
what a spoiler is. But either way you look at it is that, because me and Sinead were talking about it, right, is that the end of this movie, the zombies are going across the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yeah.
Which means they are invading New York.
Which,
But Dawn of the Dead, they're already there.
so it's a prequel,
It should be.
you silly Italians.
That's right.
It's just a rip-off.
It's, yeah.
It's okay, man. It's
just
a
a
rip-off, but it's a
rip-off.
rip-off. It's a
There's
silly
actually-
rip-off, you silly
Fulci
rabbit.
also did Zombie 3.
You Wesley
what?
Rabbit.
Fulci did Zombie 3.
Fulci.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There
And
is
what
a
was that
Zombie
called? Day of the Dead?
Zombie
Zombie
3.
3. and it's still called.
You know what?
Zombie
It has
3.
to be simple, Sinead. See, as long as they put a number after it. Hey, we got
It,
another
it could
movie.
be anything.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
did a proper
Do you think they're going to do Zombie in Space for the
think
fourth
that's-
Oh
one?
my God. Oh my God. Did they ever do a zombie in space, fellas?
They should have.
I mean, we had Jason in space, and we had, you know what I mean?
Leprechaun in Space?
Leprechaun
Well-
in space.
There's kind of undead people in like what's that film that everyone loves and I hate? Oh, Event Horizon. That's kind
It's
of
not a
zombie-esque.
zombie movie.
No, but there's undead
I just
things.
sound
in
like
it.
The
that.
vampires in space.
Yeah.
Life Force.
Life Force,
Oh, like-
Life Force, a vampire. Yeah.
Oh my God, Matilda. man.
Chase goes to space.
That's right.
Actually, wish
My
you
brother
would.
worked on Life Force.
So anyway, so let's get back to the beginning of this movie. First of all, we usually talk about the scores sometimes as well because our man Matt is as an artist. But I'm gonna turn over to my man Colin because Colin actually personally knows the man behind the score.
Yeah. Fabio Frizzi.
Who he introduced me to, and I got to say, "Hey, Fabio."
You got to say sorry,
Fabio.
Yes.
Because I stole his music for one of my films.
Music for a film.
Oh, how could you?
Fabio heard it.
Hey, have you ever heard? You've heard the music in this movie.
What?
You've heard the music in this movie. Every time you see a zombie.
It's a
Now, wait. Stop it, because we owe Fabio money.
Fabio money.
We're going to get copyright claims.
Do you know any stories around the music of this, man? Because it is a simple
Cheap.
riff.
It was made for no money. The film was made for no money. So Fabio was he was a big deal, and Italy. He'd worked for loads of people. And they just hired. It was the first time. No, the second time Fulci had worked with Fabio. He did a western with it. He's done a western with
right.
And he just said to Fabio, "Can you do a really cheap score
and
for
quick?
no money? A bit like you do to me sometimes."
It had a really short production. I mean, it's freaky. Okay, the film wrapped at the end of April '79 and was in, as you would say, the theaters by August of that year.
Wow.
Wrapped and completely done and in. And
You're
done.
not telling me that the music wasn't there yet.
Yeah, everything. Everything done.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Everything done.
Unlike, say, someone like Ennio Morricone, the music actually was done post-production.
Yeah. But I mean, we're talking about this beat because we can't really keep doing it because we will have to owe somebody some money. But like the whole deal is that this was kind of like that Jaws beat, where it's like where Spielberg didn't have anything, because the sharks didn't work and stuff like that. And then, John Williams, just go, he created that song. So, I mean, this beat is kind of like that. So every time you would see a zombie, or it would be like the zombie theme, you hit this music and everything, and it's oh my god, I just love this.
Fulci originally wanted just like
what?
Fulci originally wanted just like a Goblin rip off to it, like a Dawn of the Dead score. But
oh right.
Fabio couldn't do that without a band. He was on his own, so that was just his.
Bless him.
Yeah.
So my favorite cue is actually right at the start. It's when the police are on the boat.
Yeah.
And you got one of them goes down into the cabin, but you hear this. And it just fades out, and then boom.
Now, not to be insulting, Merv, but that guy in the boat looked like you.
I say that about a lot of zombies.
What, that they look like Merv?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that'd be it. Yeah.
Well, no, but you know how he had
Captain
the blood. You know how
Haggerty.
he had the blood around his mouth, and it was like a perfect blood goatee.
Played by part-time actor Captain Haggerty.
Which is named
You're lying.
No.
Blood goatee.
He also has a small role in Cruising as well.
He does.
What, with Al Pacino?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't
Love
know
that.
what he was doing.
That was all. The whole opening scene in Manhattan. That was all just like stolen.
Yeah,
Didn't have any
all on the fly,
permission
yeah.
at all to do that.
What do you mean? So they didn't have the harbor patrol or anything?
No.
I mean, like,
One was a real cop,
They-
but they got him just off duty. They just give him some lira or drugs. Or
wow,
Can you come
literal
down
or
to the
drugs,
uniform?
whichever
You
works.
can perfectly tell. You can tell one's American and the other one just looks Italian.
Yeah. The red-headed guy. He was an off-duty
The other guy
officer.
just
Yeah.
looks Italian. He was probably just a.
And his hair was well a bit of a giveaway because he didn't have like a regulation police
Yeah.
hair, even for '79. You know what I mean?
Didn't they go to a morgue scene after that?
Well, that's a bit later. It's a bit later. It's a bit later.
Okay, only reason why I mentioned it was because it reminded me of The Fog.
Okay.
Like remember that scene in The Fog and stuff.
Ah.
Ooh, what is that? Oh, Antonio Bay. Ooh, celebrating 100 years of Antonio Bay. First of all, it's mad cool shirt. But why? So what is that for? Because you just thought, hey, I'm just coming on a podcast, I'll just wear it? Yeah. Okay. All right, cool. All right. So anyway.
My t-shirt's a bit more tenuous.
I don't know what
we'll
it means.
Get to that.
Okay,
Okay, we'll get to that. But anyway.
Mine has leopard prints on
Yours
it.
has leopard prints on it.
Mine is just self-promotion of Big Condo. So either way we look at it is that let's get to our characters because I got it wrong as I usually do. But Tisa Farrow, sister of Mia
sister,
Farrow. you know. And what was that guy? Ian McCulloch.
Ian McCulloch.
Ian McCulloch. So she's looking for somebody. At first, I thought she was probably looking for her sister, who was the woman who was in Dawn of the Dead. But then Sinead reminded me it was her daddy.
It was her dad on the island.
The island
Dying.
of Matul.
The island of Matul.
Yeah. Where's Matul? As
Leave
Ian
Matul
McCulloch
out
does
of
say in
this.
the film.
Yeah, but
Where's
exactly.
my tool?
He does say that line in the film. Ian McCulloch says, "Where's Matul?"
And then where is it?
Between your legs.
Ooh.
The illustrate of your legs.
I love it how, like, you know, when we're there on a boat, and then it's like, hey, look, you know, cops coming on there, and let's just fake having sex.
Well, they fake kissing,
Of
they don't
course.
actually fake having sex.
do.
Fake.
Yeah, it's fake.
It was so awkward and bad at the same time.
We do that
Yeah.
at work. Here's the manager. Quick.
Hey. Hang on.
It's the manager quick.
The manager's going, why are the four guys together there?
What a sausage party that is.
But what's interesting, before we do that though, we have Fulci's Hitchcock moment, because Ian McCulloch's character is this reporter, and he speaks to his editor, and lo and behold, who's playing the
Lucio.
editor? Lucio himself, the main man.
There's a rumor there about that they had no permission to film in that newspaper either. And
So wait a minute. They
Hold
have
on.
permission to shoot in this
It was Rupert
offshore.
Murdoch's officers.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, apparently
No.
so. And they just jumped in on a Sunday morning, and the security guard had to go, "Why are you here?"
Listen, man.
So, and they all
Guerrilla
went.
filmmaking at its best. What was the budget for this movie?
Not a lot.
I'd say
Probably not.
probably at the most, probably about 600,000. At the most.
But
Probably
they
at
had
the
to cheat
most.
all these locations.
Oh,
For
yeah, yeah,
the
absolutely.
producer Fabrizio De Angelis, it was Fabrizio De Angelis who produced. He produced most of Fulci's films. He had links to the mafia.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So if anyone did tell him to move on,
Yeah.
they probably had a horse's head in their bed
Yeah.
somewhere.
Probably had links to Bryanston.
Yeah.
And probably on the island of Matul, you know, in that
Yeah.
in that little what do you call it? Not a bagel. What do you call them things? You know, when you have a hut or
It's a
island.
village. It's just a little village, isn't it?
Yeah, I was just thinking it was his backyard, you know, like kind of thing.
Richard Johnson as well, the guy who you first see in the film, the first actor in the film, who says the boat can leave now.
The boat can
That's
leave
Richard
now.
He was a huge.
That was a
Richard
nice.
Johnson
That was a nice silhouette shot.
Yeah,
It was beautiful.
Richard Johnson was a huge Shakespearean actor
Yeah.
who had a drink problem, who needed the money.
But then they didn't show his face. They felt no benefit here. No benefit here.
You
But you got to
got to
remember, it's interesting actually, and like McCulloch on these DVD, Blu-rays or whatever, he does talk about the fact that a lot of these guys weren't getting really the work anymore. They'd been movie stars in the 50s and 60s,
Yeah.
but come the 70s, and even TV was drying up for them. So like Italian, but there's stuff will be popular in Italy, and these guys, hey, you want to make a movie over here? Yeah, yeah, okay. Where you shooting? Oh, we'll be shooting it in the Caribbean. We're going to shoot it in Thailand. Or
Ooh,
whatever.
Caribbean.
It's great. It's great. It's 3 weeks holiday, getting paid great. No one will see this.
No.
He thought
No one will see this. It'll be
Or
great.
we
We
It'll
can
only
have
be
a jolly
popular-
old time.
Yep,
Yeah.
you know, it'll only be popular in Italy for like 3 weeks. That'll be it. No
in
one
the
over.
same year, Ian did Zombie Holocaust.
The what?
Zombie
Zombie Holocaust.
The what?
And a film called Contamination.
Contamination. Wow.
Oh man, no.
Do you
Same
mean
year.
concentration?
And this is Ian thinking no one will ever see these, and all three of them ended up on the video nasty list.
What about
There's
what
another-
about Tisa Farrell? She never did anything
She
after
did
this.
a couple of
She's
Italian
in
bits
a
and
Woody Allen. She's in
Yeah.
Manhattan. She actually has a bit part in Manhattan with her sister. But
Oh right.
She's in a few little Italian.
Oh
pieces
okay.
and
Okay.
stuff.
Just never noticed.
but she dropped out of acting. Not
During
long
the
after.
film?
Hey.
What do you mean? There was a story behind
No,
that.
she- no,
Okay.
Nah,
Cool.
no,
No,
she's
she doesn't act in the film. She's awful.
Oh, she says this an awful lot.
She's, oh my god, it's a zombie.
They probably was hoping that hey,
from my
is Woody
father.
going to show up today?
Yeah.
No. So anyway, no matter how we're shooting in the air. So anyway, so they decide to hire like two deep sea diver people that look like Nick Nolte and the other girl from Deep. Right?
Oh my God,
'Cause
yeah.
Didn't the
Deep?
Deep come out like 2 years before this?
77. Yeah.
So it's kind of like, hey, you look like Nick Nolte. You look like that other girl.
Al.
No, she doesn't.
Al-
but she
Al-
takes it.
Al Cliver, is it
Great
Cliver?
Al Cliver plays the guy who
Al
is,
Cliver.
So he wasn't. He was an Italian actor. Probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember his real name.
Pierluigi Conte.
He
What
was a-
about the
he was
girl?
a
I don't
Fulci
really
reg-
care
he
about
was
the
a
guy.
Fulci
What about the
regular.
girl?
I'm not sure about the girl. I'm
Olga
not sure
something.
Olga
Olga
Carlotta.
something.
Yeah, I think it
Olga
was.
Carlotta.
Oh, Olga Carlotis. Olga Carlotis, who takes her clothes off. So anyway,
Bonk.
yeah, Blake, you're a little bit late on my bunk. So either way you look at it is that they do look like they're from the deep, and they decide to take them to the island of Matul.
Wasn't me.
My tool hitting the floor. Well done, Blake.
There you go.
This is why we keep you
I
around.
won't be photoshopped because I knew Blake was going to be here.
Yeah, exactly. You
Aw.
know, look at that. So anyway,
Just for you, Blake.
Just for you, Blake.
so they picked them up and they decide to go out to the island of Matul.
Mysterious island of Matul.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now,
Where
as,
Eagle Cullick says,
Check
"Where
out
is
my
as they get
tool.
close to Matul,
I'd rather not, thank you.
what?
I'd rather not get close to your tool.
My tool.
They spent
And
the
they
night
get
on the tool.
As they get close to Matul,
Yeah.
Olga decides to go fishing.
She goes for a little,
Buy your
dip,
tools.
a little dip, as you do, you know.
As you do. You're supposed to say that.
Wait.
As you do.
As you do.
Thank you.
Okay.
So, you know, she doesn't need a swimsuit. She doesn't need the rubber.
Oh my god, yeah, her boobies are out.
I
I'm
love
like, yeah,
that.
it's
Yeah,
the
boobies.
70s. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, they perfectly
you
fit
see
around
worse
her thing.
in Benidorm, believe me.
Yeah, that,
Oh, Christ.
never been to Benidorm. So anyway, this is my favorite.
This is
scene.
probably the most famous.
Oh, is
scene in
it?
the entire film.
Yeah, this is the most. This is the most.
Come on, you know
Who the hell? This is the most. Who the hell thought of this?
Wait, is it because
I
she?
can
tell you.
Wait, is it because she's from deep that they were like, oh, let's put a shark in there for fun? Maybe.
You
I
know,
don't know.
it's because they want a kung fu zombie sequence. You know, I love the zombie. Do you know who the zombie was?
No.
Was it just some random
some
stunt
Just a
guy?
random guy, yeah, a diver. Yeah.
Anyway.
someone's
It was a
hold
real
their
shark.
breath.
Yeah, I
Real
know
shark.
it was real.
The guy
Yeah,
was
it
the Sharks trainer. Who
Oh,
was
that's why he
yeah.
can.
Wait, they can train sharks.
Well, handler, yeah.
That is bad.
Yeah, how did they train sharks?
You-
Did they
you-
just
you
feed them
You
before?
just don't
the
feed them and then go, do you want the
No, you have to feed
That's
them.
Come on, boy.
No, if you don't feed them,
No,
that's
you
when they
don't
eat
feed them.
people.
No, they are trained highly.
No.
Trained.
I know you can train whales and dolphins. I know you can train a shark. That's cute.
Damn.
I want a pet shark now.
Okay. Yeah, get her a pet shark, people. So
Please.
either way you look at it, Olga goes down. She's looking for some coral. And this zombie, who can breathe underwater.
Well, he hasn't got any lungs, Chase,
Die
so
again,
yeah.
is he?
Oh, he has no lungs. Thank
He's
you.
not going to die again.
He's already undead.
Yeah.
So anyway, but he does the stalker thing. You know, he looks behind the coral. I did. Nobody does. He goes boobies. He must. Come on.
Now
Come
that's
on,
some
must have
flesh
seen-
he
must
wants
have
to
seen that.
eat.
You know what I mean? Because she's like,
Got to feed his
You know?
too.
Oh, yeah, underwater, just humming away.
yeah.
What was he doing before that? Just
What was he doing?
Bobbing along.
Bobbing along. So anyway, so he comes at her, and then you know, like she's like, "Oh, what the?" And you know, she's, you know, like rubbing the coral in his face and everything, and then
Then it happens.
yeah, what happens?
We have
Shark
a
attack.
shark attack.
Shark
Exactly.
attack.
Sharky.
My
Sharky.
God, come on, you must come on. Why ain't nobody is excited about this? He does
Whoa!
this.
does.
He
A
does-
shark!
You know what I mean? No, I meant he gets into that kung fu stand. And
Are you
the
sure that
Tad-
wasn't
and
just the wading of the water?
And the Tatarmanian flag, you know, he's just like, yo, you know what I mean? I just love this scene. Come on, nobody else
was
love
the
it?
last thing they shot.
Was it?
Yeah, it was an ad. It was an
add-on.
add-on. Yeah.
The film wasn't long enough. So
Get out.
So they added that for fun.
So
You know
the
what? This is
writer-
why I love these guys, because they do all the background research
The
on
writer's
this.
name is Dardano Sacchetti, who wrote
What?
everything.
Who?
Dardano Sacchetti. You know,
Okay.
Yes, but
everything.
but it was credited to
his wife.
To his wife.
Oh,
For
wow.
tax
We are
reasons.
not. So we are not going to say it was for tax reasons.
Oh, okay.
But we just
Lisa
did.
Yeah, he
Billingham.
just
We just
did. I didn't write this
She
shit.
actually
My
does a-
wife
She
did.
actually does a commentary on one of the.
She does, Lisa Brigante, who didn't.
Did it?
But I got
Brigante.
But
But Dardano
I
Sacchetti
like
got
that
brought
this is
back.
an add-on because it's
Yeah.
like my favorite scene, and it is a really
Well,
great
They
sequence.
brought it back because Fulci said to Sacchetti that we need a 5-minute because the film ran about 7
So
minutes.
does that include the whole boobies going down
but
for
yeah,
the
she just went
dive?
skinny. She just went dipping, basically.
love that for
And then
her.
they added the end bit on where she.
Oh, so she already went down,
She'd
and
already
then
gone down.
nothing
Yeah,
happens.
It was just going to be a.
The swimmer, though, basically, it was an excuse to show female flesh.
True.
So, no, seriously, because that's the sort of thing, unfortunately, that the producers will say.
Time.
You gotta. Well,
that reminds me of Humanoids from the Deep, where they were just adding bits and bobs.
That's exactly that.
Please watch Sinead's Guilty Pleasures on Humanoid from the Deep.
Please, I need the views. But yeah.
I know, we did a whole great podcast.
Also, like and subscribe so I can get a pet shark, please.
Only for that reason.
Just for that reason, nothing else.
Jaws 2 was just about to come out.
I love Jaws 2.
So Sacchetti decided to throw a shark scene in.
Right.
Just to give it a bit of,
this is what he was up to.
Most the Italians of the time.
Oh, man. These guys are so clever.
Most the Italians at the time just threw everything in the film.
Yeah.
They didn't care.
Everything and the kitchen sink. But that's smart, though. Hey, look, we got a shark movie coming up, next month. Yeah.
So they were referencing the Deep. They were referencing Dawn, the Deep, Jaws 2.
Whatever was.
What happened to filmmakers like that thought like this? So either way you look at it is, so that's an add-on, great sequence. She survives. She even comes up, when she comes up out of the water, she does that whole shivering thing, go, shark.
She didn't say zombie.
There was a man. There was a man down there. No, she said there was a man down there.
The man down there.
There's a man down there.
Oh, my God.
He just had his arm eaten.
What acting, Sinead, wasn't it?
It was beautiful.
I didn't think so.
So theatrical.
Very deep.
I love her.
So anyway, we get to the island of Matul. How many times can we say it? Why don't you do this as a drinking game? Do it as a drinking game.
Oh my God, yes. Yeah. Every time we say Matul, take a shot.
Does it a drinking game? You won't get to the island.
Yeah, I'm just talking about people to watch it.
If Chase gets bonked again, down you drink.
Well, it'll come up, trust me, in this next thing. Anyway, so now they get to the island. What happens, Merv?
Well, we have a little bit. We have a little bit of domestic sort of confrontation between husband and wife, which was adds a bit of a kind of a soap opera element to it.
Oh, wait. So who was the wife? Because the glorious green eyes.
Oh, what's her name? Oh, why did you ask me this question?
She had to be
Richard
like some,
wife.
was she like some Italian supermodel or whatever?
Probably married to the producer.
But point being is,
that's the only way I can get in the movie.
She's obviously not too happy by the fact that her husband is spending so much time.
Yeah, your work's so more important than me.
Well,
you had to figure that those zombies were on the island.
Stop working. I'm gonna put some wood in my eye.
You had to figure those zombies had been on the island for at least like 2 days.
Yeah, maybe.
Right? I mean, because the way they established the island. So how is it only now that she's upset?
They've never knocked at the door before. Then.
Exactly. How is it only now? Why you leave me alone? Why you leave me alone?
But that's a good point because one of the things that like Fulci was adamant that the fact that it was not a Dawn rip-off or anything, because the original idea was that they were in fact came from voodoo. As opposed to hence the sort of the West Indian setting, etc.
Yeah.
So I mean, which there we go.
What's
that? Wasn't a virus.
The boat can leave now.
Tell the crew.
See that?
Now there is no crew because they're all dead. Oh, they're zombies.
So anyway, but the point being is because obviously then she goes off. She's not happy. She thinks it's warm. I think I'll get a shower. So we have a prolonged sequence.
You do, right, Sinead?
As you do.
So so we have this once again a bit of flesh for the smelly producers.
And the audience. That was a nice shower scene, by the way.
I can't wait to be a producer.
Carlotos is the wife.
That's right.
That makes more sense.
She's the wife. The other girl, I don't.
The other one who isn't.
Roberta,
the one who isn't Tessa Farrow.
Right. The other girl, Roberta, whatever her name.
But which of course leads to the single most infamous scene in the whole movie.
Are we talking about the zombie bite?
We're talking
the zombie hickey.
We're talking your favorite part that you keep banging on about.
Splinter, yes.
Splinter. Now, just to put this into context, it wasn't just this sequence, but this was the major scene that got it into an awful lot of trouble in the UK.
Whoa.
Nino.
Absolutely.
What's going on here?
About 7 or 8 minutes of footage was cut from the original
Are we talking
cinema
about
release.
the eye?
Yeah.
That was cut. Some area. I mean, we'll get to the other bits later. But the first bit to be cut actually was the very first bite on the police officer on his neck. There's a prolonged shot of blood spurting out after,
and it was beautiful.
But that's you wouldn't have seen that in the UK cinemas back in the day. In fact, you wouldn't see that.
There was a lot of video nasties
You
in the
wouldn't
UK.
see that in
you
the UK until this release in 2013 or something like that.
Now you got to remember, or you probably don't know, Sinead, that both of these guys were like video store clerks. So their view of a lot of the American movies, especially video nasties, were just in video stores. They didn't see most of the stuff in the cinema like I did.
Well, no,
because they didn't play in the cinema here, right?
Some of them did, but we got like a very, very, very kind of cut down. I like one of my brothers who was like a big horror fan. Like he's what 8-9 years older than me, and he'd always be telling me tales about. He'd say, "Oh, I just saw this movie. I saw this. I saw the zombie movie." And I remember him telling me about like he went to see Flesh Eaters, and he said, "Oh," but of course, fast forward a year or two later, and he comes out on and this is the best part of the story for me. When he comes out on VHS to rent in the UK, it comes out on 2 versions. There's a standard release, which was the cinema release, and then there was one that just said in a big label on it said "strong, uncut version."
Yeah.
The uncut version was released 6 months after the.
Yes, it did. And did you think anybody rented the standard version after that? As soon as that
before it.
Well, yeah, but I mean after, and it became one of the biggest like rental titles of that year.
But for you guys though, this was it like 1980 or 81?
81 it come out.
81.
Yeah.
So you had to wait like 2 years.
Yeah.
So people,
it got
this is
sent
not
back.
streaming time.
It got sent to the BBFC, the British censors. It got sent to something like 6 or 7 times. Each time was cut. It 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 was cut even more. Till eventually they said, oh, "Okay, we can slap with the old X certificate." By the way, I hate movies that are released as an 18 in the UK. X sounds so much cooler.
Yeah. But then they also called them video nasties at that point, though, too, didn't it? So
that was a little bit later.
Oh, was it? But it still made it for you. It was like, oh, I got to see that.
Well, but by the time you got to remember though, for the likes of us, like these movies that come out, they're already been out, like on home video, etc., on home videos, and then the clampdown happened.
Yeah.
So we'd probably seen, if not all of them, most of them, prior to them being taken off the shelves. So it was just like disappointing.
Yeah.
And then infuriating when you find out the real politics behind it. But that's another conversation.
Yeah.
But getting back to this. But the sequence here with the splinter, essentially when the zombies attack the house and the poor girl does the classic horror thing of like, just get out and run.
Oh, no, wait, don't jump, because I just watched this scene. So, Olga does this fantastic shower sequence. Then she puts on her, like, long robe that is kind of like see-through in a way.
Bog.
Yeah, well, I'm waiting for it. And then,
Harvey.
Wait, this was shot. Whoever the DP was, this was fantastic. So her shadow hits the wall for...
Yay!
Shadow hits the wall first.
Bloody hell.
And then, you know, she walks across the room. No music.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Silence.
Footsteps.
Then she goes into her bedroom and she tries to close the door and it won't close. She's like, what? It won't close. And then great tight close-ups. We get the shadow of light coming across the wall. And her beautiful green eyes. You know, trying to keep the door
Won't be
closed
so pretty soon.
and everything. No. And then finally we get crusted fingers, you know, coming. And so it's like, she's like, Sorry, that's not sex. That's just her trying to close the door.
Sorry, I was waiting to hear a toilet. I was waiting to hear a toilet flush. Sorry.
Anyway, the fingers break off, right? And everything. She closes the door. And then, stupidly, we all know it. Don't stand by the door. And everything. But she got slots on the wall. So then it's like she's banging on the door. So then she goes to push it like a dresser. It's heavy. Right? She goes to push the dresser towards the door. And then she gets the dresser towards the door. And then she's like, and obviously what happens, Sinead? Get out! Right? grabs her by the hair. And then just come closer, Sinead. Grabs her by the hair. And then it's like...
This is beautiful, this, folks. This is well. Hold on a minute.
Finally, an acting job.
Grabs her by the hair, and then the splinter, right? And then the close-up of the splinter is going to, oh my God, don't do it because it freaks me out.
Oh, don't actually let you put your finger in me. Oh, yeah, I wasn't planning on it, changed.
When it was really stone cut, that scene was worse because you didn't know. It got to there. And then just went away.
Because they didn't do the close-up?
The close-up.
That's quite a few.
Oh my God, I can't. Oh, dude.
Got right to the. Oh, it's tricky.
So get to the Dario Argento influence because this is the Dario Argento. Dario has this thing about eyeballs, doesn't he?
Sometimes, yeah.
Don't we all?
Sometimes.
Yeah, yes.
Every movie he has an eyeball sequence.
Yeah, Dario's
like this.
eyeballs are like Tarantino's feet.
There we go.
Exactly.
Dario's
That's what it
eyeballs
is.
are like
Fulci had a thing for eyeballs more so than
Yeah.
Argento.
Well, yeah, but
Big
this was.
time.
Oh my God. So Sinead, you tell me, when that splinter hit her eyeball, what was your reaction?
I was like, that is well funny.
No, you did not.
I'm very desensitized.
You did not.
I've already said. But
Sinead, that it came out of her eye like an egg. It
I
was
know
like an egg.
it burst. I loved it.
I think it was on a little bit too long.
Well, that's just it.
It went too long, but this is what I'm trying to say.
I don't think she was.
But it
I don't think she was screaming loud in her theater. She was kind of at that point. She was like,
The great critic and writer Kim Newman points out that if you hold on to, if you see it now fully uncut, the shot is so long, you begin to detect how rubbery the face is, and you think,
Well, yeah, because it did look like an egg.
But if you'd have took it just a couple of seconds before that, it would have looked the impact.
Well, that's what I mean. I was
And
watching
then,
it
and then you
thinking.
didn't need to see it. Like it
Sort of
popped
comes
out,
away, and it's
right?
sort of-
And then you see her eye. You shouldn't have seen that because that would have been too
Yeah, I
much.
was just watching it thinking that looks like a rubber face.
It was
I've
very
looked
It
much.
does not look real.
Do you know De Rossi did the effects? Gianetto De Rossi.
All right, yeah, okay.
And he was right out. Spielberg had seen Flash Eaters and wanted him to do E.T.
Oh,
And
right,
he said he
yeah,
couldn't, he was
yeah.
already doing some
You
of
got
the
a job. You got a job.
So
Yeah,
he got his,
He understood the
his friend,
assignment.
yeah.
Paolo Rambaldi to do
In fact, the zombies in this, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm a
E.T.'s
worship
eyes would have just
like the work of like Tom Savini, and I don't think like Day of the Dead has ever been topped. But the zombies in this, the makeup jobs on this, blow Dawn out of the water. Absolutely.
Yeah, you know why? Because the guys that were as zombies, they were very emaciated.
Yeah.
mucky.
They're mucky.
Yeah,
they're
you know,
rotten.
I mean, like when they're
and
eating that woman after
and
the
they're
end of that
truly
season.
rotten as well.
Yeah, they were real
Absolutely
zombies.
rotten.
They were rotten, they
main
were.
zombie, the maggot face zombie, when he's in the cemetery and he pops
Oh,
up.
with the eye.
Oh my god!
no,
Oh my god!
yeah.
Oh my god! That's the next thing. But I mean, like either way you look at it, is like I love it. You know, so I mean, obviously the daughter is with the dad, and the dad doesn't want to leave the island, whatever. Blah blah blah. His wife's now dead, and you know, and everything. We end up. Is this when we end up in the cemetery?
Yeah, they go and have
Yeah.
a-
So
have a
this is
sleep in
where
the cemetery.
now wait a minute. The cemetery was shot in the daytime. Isn't it supposed to be night?
Time moves fast when you're fighting zombies. Believe me.
No,
You-
but
you don't know what- you
no.
don't
But
know what-
then it was night, day, then night again when they
You
like
don't know
doing
where
the.
the tool is.
Oh, is that what it is?
maybe.
Is that what it is?
The tool has its own son.
I was gonna say because most scenes, day for night scenes, are shot in the daytime anyway, aren't they, Colin?
Yeah, that's why they call it day
Yeah.
for night. Yeah.
I think actually, yeah. Stop it.
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't saying I didn't know it. I was just.
Yeah, I think that.
Walked
The
into
Italian
that one,
films
didn't
just
you?
film when they can.
What?
When they can
The
film it,
Italian films just
exactly.
film
Yeah.
when they can film it,
Yeah.
and then they'll add something in the story to go.
But that did lead.
didn't
That,
last
that
too
did
long."
lead when they finally arrived there. The other the other major sequence that the BBFC were like, nope, you're not having that in this movie. Is when they find the wife on the table being chomped on.
Yeah, that's what I was
yeah,
saying when they were
yeah.
when they were eating when the zombies were eating her. But now this was interesting. Now you might know this, Merv, like because I thought this was pretty interesting. Was that when they get to that graveyard, they indicate that these zombies were conquistadors. Did you notice
Possibly.
that?
I can't say I actually had noticed. All I did note was the
Look
fact
at
like
that! I
said,
know
they're
some
all-
Merv don't know.
Hey.
What about you, Con? Did you notice? Because they did have helmet. They did have like helmets.
Well, so, yeah,
whatever.
there's a mix. There's a
saying,
there's a real mix. There's a real mix.
I'm just saying. But so this is where we get MAGA zombie. What?
Let him have it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
man.
agree with you.
Thank you. So this is where we get MAGA face. So the girl who went and fought the shark or was down there with the shark and stuff is like she's traumatized, but she's so traumatized.
Because she fell asleep on a grave.
Well,
I
she
mean,
thought, hey,
anyone
isn't
who-
this?
anyone who
She
falls
thought,
asleep
hey,
on a
isn't this a
grave
night scene?
As you do.
Deserves to have your
Exactly.
throat ripped.
Isn't this a night scene? Anyway, so boom.
If it was a day scene, if it was a night scene, it wouldn't have looked as good as it does.
I know it wouldn't, but so we get the music, and then MAGA face is rising up out of the grave, you know, and everything like that, and then she's got this very poorly acted face on.
It's like a Frozen with fear.
And stuff like that. And we got MAGA face on the poster and everything. And then he bites her in the neck. Now that neck rip. You talk about
That's
the cop.
Another cut.
That's another cut, by the way. Another cut in the UK.
Well, not in the movie I
basically-
saw.
No, exactly.
It was zombie flesh eaters with no flesh eating, basically.
Well, in short,
I would have hated that. If I actually saw that, thank God I'm from America. But
Do
either way,
you know who owns that now? Who owns that cadaver? Who owns that head now?
ooh, somebody owns it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Sylvester Stallone.
Get the hell out of
For the
here.
simple reason that his son Sage was a huge Lucio Fulci fan.
Oh
Oh,
my
wow.
God, that's cool.
He owns loads of memorabilia.
Something about heads, isn't he?
Give me that head.
And Gina Rossi, who did the effect, who
Bob.
did those effects, did
Yeah.
the effects for Rambo 3.
Oh yeah,
Three?
yeah. So he's like,
Not
yeah,
two,
you
no.
hire him.
Sage, no.
That's the man over there. That's the man.
Sage was a huge. He ran those film conventions in America with.
Oh really?
and
Did
Sage
he?
used
Yeah.
to run a lot of.
Mm.
He owns a company. What the company owns?
I don't know.
That's what happens when you're rich.
Well, hey,
You can
when
do
you
what
use
you
money.
can do. You can do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Thanks,
But it's
Dad.
great, but it's good that you got somebody who's in the creative business who actually plows the money into or at least acquires the money into something that they truly love. I mean, this label here alone, Blue Underground.
Yeah.
You know who owns that?
No.
Bill
I was-
Bill Lustig.
Who?
Maniac Cop. Bill
Oh
Lustig.
right, like I know his name. Anyway,
Well, yeah. Maniac, come on.
I know Maniac
Yeah.
Cop. I just don't know.
No,
the guy.
Maniac,
Maniac
Maniac,
and
and Maniac Cop.
Oh well, Maniac was with Joe Spinell though.
Yeah.
All right, yeah,
And then
yeah.
Vigilante as well.
Ooh, I love Vigilante.
well,
Oh, I
yeah.
love
Shut up!
Vigilante.
Stop!
But we digress.
Stop it! Stop
We
it! You are
digress.
digressing. Don't swim.
So,
Go ahead.
getting back to the jumping scene, etc. That, but
Oh, that blood.
okay,
ripping
funny
skin thing.
story. My brother Jimmy, he gave the tape to my father and went out one night, and I was out for some reason or other, and my brother was telling me,
Jimmy Jones.
moving on, moving on, and
Jim
James.
Jones have a cult?
He's,
Yeah, he did.
well, my brother was a bit of a cult, but there we go.
Obviously runs in the family.
yeah.
But anyway, but he was. He remember telling me, "Well, I came home and Dad was watching Flesh Eaters, and I've never seen a black man turn green." And he walked in on that scene where they're eating the girl eating her on the table.
That story
I'll
was
rephrase that. I'll rephrase that statement.
I don't think
Yeah,
that's
probably you should. So, like,
a good story. I like
so anyway, she's dead now, and homeboy didn't get shot because he's got to do the last stand in the Alamo.
Oh, yeah.
So like either way, they make it into the place, barricade themselves up. Music gets kicked in, right? This is the TV trailer moment
Yeah.
where they're like trying to face off against a wall of zombies and Molotov cocktails and everything. You know what I mean?
You're funny you mentioned the TV because the US TV spot is one of my absolute all-time favorites.
Mine too, because of the big letters.
The letters, yeah.
Hello.
So we are gonna eat you.
Yeah, we are going to
Oh,
eat you.
damn,
Yeah,
that was. You know what? I was actually at home in the daytime and I saw that trailer. Sparked me to go see the movie.
oh, absolutely.
Even though I was a little kid, what was I? No, I wasn't that little. Anyway, so the whole point about it was that like, so they face off against the zombies, but then like, homie, he gets bit and everything, but they still manage to escape to get to the boat and
Yes.
everything like that.
Ish.
So,
Ish.
well,
They
it's
sort of-
because Ian McCullough got bit too, didn't
No,
he?
he didn't.
No, he's just wounded.
Because
Because he's on the boat with Tisa Farrow,
Yeah.
and they got the guy down in the base in the hold.
Al has been bitten.
Al has been bitten.
Yeah.
Dad's dead
That's
That.
and everything like that. So they're heading back to New York, and they hear the famous New York message. Now this is my favorite scene because, like, no, but we always hear that. There's always like the announcer, the narrator
Yeah.
kind of thing. You know what I mean? But this was so fucking funny because they're like, "Oh, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it." And then he's like, "They're coming to the they're coming to the studio." Ah!
Well, the idea that the zombies are walking across the bridge.
Yeah.
All the traffic flows perfect.
Perfectly. Yeah. Once again, another stolen shot. Yeah.
Absolutely. Another stolen shot. Just
I
perfect.
didn't notice the
underneath.
traffic, but yeah, I
Well,
mean,
the
I
tra-
noticed
the
the
traffic-
Because there's
walkie-talkie.
about, 15 zombies heading away? This is one of the most misleading kind of posters ever.
Yeah.
That simply isn't like...
That was done for the video for Vipco.
The UK,
UK video.
Yeah, but see, what's worse is that they have the cross markers for headstones and stuff.
Well, the guy who owned Vipco, was a guy named Mike Lee, who just changed the title. He thought he was a big shock tactic guy, Mike Lee.
Now, just in case,
got added on.
now just for our audience though, it's like just hold up that zombie flesh eaters in front of your face there, Colin, because like they can't see what we see on the TV. No, in front of your face. Yeah, there you go, and stuff like that. So that's the famous
for the Vipco,
hand poster.
That's the original video VHS.
Yeah.
That was done just for the VHS company.
Yeah,
by a guy called Mike Lee, who changed
not
the
the
title.
famous, not the famous
not that
Mike Lee.
Mike Lee.
Mike Lee changed the title of the film when he bought the rights for the cinema release. He changed the title.
Went from Zombie 2 to Zombie Flesh Eaters.
Thought Flesh Eaters would be more. Wow.
It is more scary, and then we do see a lot of flesh eating.
Yeah, which he did a lot.
But we don't see a lot of flesh eating in the British version.
Well,
but we see a lot of flesh eating.
Mike Lee bought
Zombie
3
films
flesh
at the same
grabbers.
time in '70. He bought that, Driller Killer,
Ooh.
and I Spit on Your Grave.
Oh, I love
Spit on Your
that shit.
Grave.
I love that film.
I love that film.
Yeah, it's heavy.
Everyone
like
has a
it.
big. I love that film.
Wasn't Abel Ferrara Driller Killer?
Yeah.
Driller Killer. He did.
Yeah.
But he bought those 3 films and released them on Vipco, and they are the most famous 3 video nasties. Mike Lee went to prison.
That and Shogun Assassin.
Shogun Assassin.
He did do Shogun Assassin as well, yeah.
You know,
He did Shogun Assassin as well.
I'm just saying. You know, I mean, but either way is so that's Zombie Flesh Eaters. You know, and everything. Fantastic movie. Hope you can please. That's rentable. and in its full uncut glory as well and stuff like that.
It's also on YouTube.
What?
The whole thing on YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I saw that split scene on YouTube and I showed it in the class. Can you believe that?
In the class.
I did. But
It's modern times we're living in, Chase.
Nursery.
you know,
The Suicide Squad's a 15. Get with the program.
but then that is like, yeah.
It
So-
takes a lot to be an 18 these days.
It is quite tame now if you think about it now. It's what you can see now.
It is. I think it's more known for the music than anything else, you know. But either way, is I wanna thank my brothers for coming in from Geektasm and stuff. I would encourage you to just kind of look up from some of the old shows of Geektasm because they are on YouTube, just like Zombie Flesh Eaters.
Some had hair.
Some what?
Some people had hair.
Some people had hair. I don't think
I've
so.
never had hair.
Yeah, I don't think he had. Some people had more darker hair instead of more grayer hair and stuff, and that's why I started shaving my beard. Oh shit, did I shave today? Anyway, so
You didn't shave my tool.
Hey, shave your own tool. Thank you very much.
whatever. Anyway, if you want to see these brothers again, just let us know. But either way, is that because I mean, as you could tell, they know a lot about the films, maybe too much, But I mean, one of our favorites where we did breakdowns was when we were talking about canon films because you guys know everything about canon. But also too is that you hate the fact that I still have not seen Bay of Blood.
Oh,
and I still haven't.
But if I recall, though, with our conversations on Geektasm, all roads always used to lead to, and this is where he will kick off now, Commando.
We did a great episode of Commando here on Movie
Some
Squad.
people pronounce Commando properly. Other people pronounce it Commando.
Because I talk proper, lad. That's the one. Leave it, Scass. Leave it. All right.
Yeah, but no, I like our canon discussions because those canon films were so horrible. That was great to talk about. Horrible. Come on, you know what I mean. Horrible in a good sense. Anyway, so either way it is. Again, I want to just thank them for coming, Merv Jones and Colin Hives and everything, But I can't have done it without the lovely Sinead standing here by my side. We missed the other Movie Squad guys. I almost called them Geektasm guys. No, we don't. We actually don't. But either way you look at it. But this film we cast, but no. Every actor was bad. So either way you look at it, Zombie Flesh Eaters. Thank you guys.
Captain Haggerty was great.
Yeah. The guy who looks like Merv with the blood coat.
The best actor in the whole thing was the shark.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Apparently, it was an
recast that shirt.
absolute
He probably
diva
moved
the
on
whole
to
set.
Jaws too. Finn.
Probably.
Oh, see, look at that. He's gonna fit. All right. Either way, we out of here. Peace out, Movie Squad. Thank you.
Apparently.